You might be wondering, I just joined a couple of months back and shall I quit my job now? If this is what you are thinking, and then you have ended on the light video. In this video, we will discuss what is the right time to quit job and when we should not quit the job. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Job hopping has become one of the biggest challenge for the recruiters as well as the working professionals. Now, in order to overcome that, is recruiters don't reach out to people who have basically job hopped over the couple of months. But if you are stuck at a very toxic culture, you are stuck on a toxic manager, then should you quit the job? So there are different perspectives here. First of all, number one, if you recently joined a company and within a couple of months you think that this is not the right place for this is not the right place for you to work here, then definitely you should quit that job. But always keep in mind what are the consequences if you leave that job. Certain questions you have to ask yourself. What was the previous tenure that I worked for the previous company? For example, you started a career in 2020 and you worked till 2025. Let's say month of March you worked in the same company. After that you joined another company in the month of March itself, and in the month of May now you don't want to work there anymore because you don't like the people, you don't like the manager, or there can be certain other conditions. Or even after joining you think that your salary was so much low ball parked and you want to leave this company because your value is not being met here. So at this place, if you want to take the risk that you want to leave the job, then definitely go ahead with it, but always think of the consequences. If you quit the job now, you might not be able to share this experience in the upcoming job interviews or in your resume, and this might count as a small gap in your resume. So gap still 3 months, 6 months count to be genuine, but gaps more than 6 months definitely cause a lot of problems. Recruiters will, or hiring managers will ask you again and again why you have 6 months of gap, because there are certain scenarios where people leave jobs in a very short span of time, and it becomes kind of a fraudulent thing that you left your job and you did not share it in your resume, and it is being counted as a gap in your resume. This was the first ideal scenario, but now let's say you worked in one company, you joined in 2020, you started career in January 2020, and after that you left for another company in, let's say, March 2022 after 2 years and 3 months, and then again after 1 year you left that job, you again joined a new company in, let's say, January 2023, and then again you left another company within 6 months and you joined a new company in let's say July 2023 itself. So now you changed 3 different jobs in just the span of 2 to 3 years. So now this becomes a very big red flag for the recruiters, because they see that candidate is not a stable and he or she is trying to switch jobs. Obviously they will think that this candidate will not be remaining in our company for a longer duration of time, and they will also quit the job within a couple of months. So now you have to be very careful if you are stuck in such situation. In my personal experience, I've seen a couple of resumes, because I work with a lot of people. I help them transition into product management. So I've seen a lot of resumes where people have switched jobs within a couple of 6 months only. I saw basically one resume that was very I met a guy. Okay, I'll not share the name, but that guy actually switched 4 jobs in just 2 years. First job he was very stable, and after that he again switched like 4 jobs in just a span of 2 years after 6 months. Now he's struggling a lot in getting calls, because recruiters are thinking that he will obviously now leave our job. So first of all, he's facing the challenge that he will not be able to his resume was not shortlisted, but then after a couple of iterations when he did, he was still questioned by the hiring managers that why you have changed so many jobs in the past couple of years. So this becomes another red flag for the hiring managers. So don't be in that situation, and don't be that guy who actually switched a lot of jobs in the past couple of years. You have to be stable at least for, let's say, 3 to 4 years. People who switch jobs after 1 or 2 years, so that is not a good thing, but if it is done once or twice, that's totally fine in the long term of career. But if you are switching jobs after every 1 year or 2 year, then it becomes a red flag for the recruiters. You will not get calls after switching to 3 jobs or more than that. So more than that will not happen, but if you switch only 1 or 2 or 3 jobs within like 1 or 2 years, then definitely you will face a lot of problems in the upcoming time. You will not be able to switch jobs so easily. So then what question comes is, so what is the right time to quit a job, or what is the right time to switch a job? If I talk about the years of experience, then 3 to 5 years is the best time to switch any job. If you have completed 3 years in a company, then you can start looking at for jobs because you have spent enough time in the company, you understood the processes, you have made a lot of impact in the company, and 3 years to 5 years is a very good time to switch the jobs. If you do before than that, it becomes a problem because you seem to be as a job hopper. But if you do more than that, let's say 7 years, 8 years, you're in the same company, then you seem to be very slow, or it seems like you don't want to like progress in your career. So there are a lot of different factors that come into play. So 3 to 5 years is the most ideal time for anyone to switch the job. I have analyzed hundreds of profiles on LinkedIn. I daily visit 10 to 15 profiles and analyze what people are doing in their careers, how they're progressing their careers. I've seen people with the ideal experience of 3 to 4 years or 3 to 5 years in the one company. They have progressed a lot, and they have grown their career a lot in these kind of scenarios. Whereas people who switched jobs, who did lateral movements, for example, one person did like was a software engineer for 2 years in one company, and then again he changed to software engineer in another company where he spent only 1 year. After that, he got promoted to software engineer to another company. He joined that, but it becomes very challenging for them because they cannot justify their points, they cannot justify their impact. But when you work for a little bit of longer duration, like let's say 3 to 5 years, then at that time you can easily justify your impact that you have made, you can easily justify the skills that you have developed, and you can easily justify whatever work you were doing. You already know everything out of it, you knew the product out of it, everything out of it. So it becomes crucial that you stay for couple of years in one company, learn all the business processes, learn all the outcome, or learn about whatever you were doing, what impact you made and why you made that impact. So these things becomes very important when you start looking for a job. These help you gain an edge over those people who had recently switched the jobs and cannot justify the impact they had made. So can you imagine, let's say a person worked for 6 months and he said, as a product manager, and he said that I had made an impact of $2 million in just a span of 6 months, which is practically not possible, because ideally it takes 2 to 3 months for any person in any department. I'm not talking about customer support or those like departments, but where it's like an engineering department, the analytics department. So these kind of departments take a lot of time for anyone to get onboarded smoothly. You will first of all understand the product, you will first of all understand about the business processes, you will understand how the business of the company runs. So it takes a lot of time for anyone to start understanding things in detail. Once you are totally onboarded smoothly, after understanding all the products, after understanding whatever work you're going to do, after that couple of 6 months later, that stage you will start making the impact. And it takes like 6 months to 1 year, whatever you've been launching, then it takes that time of while you start showing the impact. So after 2 years, you can easily say whatever feature you worked on, you can easily say that I worked on this feature, I resolved this kind of business problem, and with this kind of business problem, I made, let's say, $2 million, or I saved $2 million, just like that. So it becomes quite easier for you to justify that I remained on the same designation for the past couple of years. Now I am eligible and I am well versed with all the skills that are required to switch the job, and that's why you should hire me. So I'll repeat, the ideal age for switching jobs is 3 to 5 years, because you can easily justify the impact that you've made in a previous job. And if you are switching jobs recently within 3 months, 6 months, or less than 1 year, it would be very difficult for you to start getting calls after that. So stay positive. If you want to connect with me, I am sharing my LinkedIn. You can connect with me over LinkedIn. And if you want to break into product management, or you need any career guidance, you can reach out to me anytime on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to help you. If you're new to my channel, then click on the subscribe button. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.